So let's listen to that hook with both of these vocoders in there.
I'm the best rapper ever, I don't wanna be great. If they're the best, then I'm better, don't you make no mistake. Cause I'm the gold, feel it in my bones until I'm a ghost. I'm the one who pulls the sword out of the stone.
Hey guys, welcome back. My name's Evan Morgan, and on today's episode, we're gonna be doing a short mix breakdown of the most challenging song I've ever mixed. A mixer I truly respect once said something that really stuck with me. He said, when working on a mix, you're not only trying to make a song sound great, but you're also trying to make the song sound more like itself. The idea that a song has an identity that's formed during songwriting and molded during production and recording, and then finalized in the mixing stage really helped me complete a mix I was recently working on. That song was Tom MacDonald's new single, Best Rapper Ever. So let's jump into the session and see what we were working with. So this is the mix session for this song. Tom obviously produced and recorded this himself. He produces and records all of his tracks. So he's sourcing all the sounds, arranging them, producing everything, and then sending me the stems to do the final mix. So I have all the individual elements here that he created. I have my drums here in blue coming to this drum bus. I've got my instruments coming to this music bus. Starting from this pink track all the way down, these are all vocals. So there was a lot of vocal production done in this song to achieve the sound. All these vocals are going to this vocal bus, and those 3 buses are going to these master faders. I've got a couple effects returns here that I'm sending a bunch of my elements to, reverbs, delays, and those are also going to my master faders here. So that's the layout. Let's take a quick look at the instrumental. I won't go too in depth because the instrumental actually isn't that complicated in this. The instrumental wasn't what caused a lot of the complications with this mix. The sounds are very specific. Tom was very selective in his sounds. They're very appropriate. They actually didn't need a whole lot of work. There's a couple little things that I'll show you. So these are the drums here. And he's got that blend of kind of modern electronic drums with orchestral kind of epic drums. And the sounds he picked are great. You'll see I did a little bit of EQ here and there just to clean things up, and a little bit of saturation and distortion with lo-fi. A lot of times the electronic sounds, you know, like the direct kick here, which sounds like this, and the snare, those more obviously digital sounds, sometimes I'll grunge them up and actually reduce the sample rate a little bit just to kind of grit them up and fit them into the realm of some of the more orchestral sounds like this or this, which are quite dirty, just to try and bring them together. So all the drums together. If I take off all of my processing on these, you can hear I actually didn't do all that much. I took out a decent amount of low mid, cleaned up the low end a little bit just so that things were a little clearer. This is before. And after. So easy peasy. On to the instrumental. I've got 808s here, which I did kind of run into a bit of an issue. So let's just talk about that really quick. This is the main 808. And I did a little bit of saturation, just taking off the low lows there. A little more saturation, a little bit of compression. So just trying to get a little bit more harmonics out of this pretty clean 808. This is before. Yeah, so just trying to make it a little more audible, especially in smaller speakers. And then Tom created this distorted 808, which sounds like this. And together with the other 808. So I had a lot of trouble with this this distorted 808 because I know what Tom's intent was. He wanted something distorted and fuzzy. He wanted it a little warbly and creepy, and he wanted it stereo. But unfortunately, I just wasn't having much luck working with this. So I ended up adding my own 808 just to kind of further the intent that I believe Tom had with this part. So this is what I added. So it's got that fizz, it's got that width, which if you watch my distorted 808s video, some of these techniques are very similar. So I break down that into further detail. But I'm adding a amp sim and a stereo spreader to kind of get that sound. This is without them. Mono distorted 808. If I turn on that amp sim, you get a little bit more fizz, a little bit more distortion, and this is the stereo spreader. So with Tom's two 808s he provided, we're still getting that consistent low end from the first one. We're still getting the quirkiness and the weirdness from his distorted 808, but now we're getting a little bit more chest and a little bit more body and a little bit more aggression from the 808 I added. So if we take that one out and with it in, now the rest of the instrumental is mainly going to be just EQ, just shaping things to fit, taking a little low end, a little low mid. This is the instrumental. So you can hear it's arranged very smart. We have the strings throughout. The different hits are happening, but they're happening at different times. So things aren't really cluttering each other up too much. This is without any of the processing I did, any of the EQ. So same again, just taking out some unnecessary lows, clearing out the low mids a little bit, adding just a little bit of brightness and excitement to it. This is with everything on. And with the drums and bass. So instrumental, not a huge problem. Let's jump down to the vocals. The whole premise, the whole prompt with this mix is that there are two versions of Tom, the real Tom and the evil Tom, and the evil Tom is trying to influence the emotions and the actions of real Tom. So the way Tom sent me this is he sent me all the performance of his real Tom vocals. He sent me the performance of his evil Tom vocals, and he sent me this low-pitched demon version of the evil Tom, which sounded like this.
Hello, Thomas. I see that you're depressed. What's the problem?
And the intent was to have the real vocal blended with this evil vocal.
Hello, Thomas. I see that you're depressed. What's the problem? Is it the skeletons you're hiding deep inside your closet? Have you been...
And that would counterbalance with the real Tom, which sounds like this.
Yeah, it does. I'm anxious. Nothing calms me down like Xanax does, but I...
So the big problem I ran into was trying to find that balance between the evil Tom and the real Tom. Real Tom was pretty easy. I've done a lot of songs with Tom now, so we have kind of a system down. If you watch my how to mix vocals video, which I will link in the description, that breaks down how I treat Tom's voice based on his delivery, based on how he records himself, what mics he has, what mics he uses at home. So some EQ here, just a tonal balance.
Yeah, it does. I'm anxious. Nothing calms me down like... Yeah, it does. I'm anxious. Nothing calms me down like Xanax does.
A little bit of de-essing, a little bit of compression just for control.
Yeah, it does. I'm anxious. Nothing calms me down like Xanax does, but I can't...
A little bit of character here added with some saturation, a little extra EQ, kind of a character compressor doing more work. Sounds like this.
Yeah, it does. I'm anxious. Nothing calms me down like Xanax does, but I...
A little further de-essing here with Soothe. This is just a tiny bit of corrective EQ just to kind of sit things in the mix. and then just a little extra top end boost with this Sound Toys. So altogether, the vocal processing on the regular tone vocal sounds like this.
Yeah, it does. I'm anxious. Nothing calms me down like Xanax does, but
Before,
yeah, it does. I'm anxious. Nothing calms me down like Xanax does, but yeah, it does. I'm anxious. Nothing calms me down like Xanax does, but
so nice, bright, in your face, compressed vocal sound. That's what Tom likes. That's what works. So that's what we usually go for with his stuff. The real problems came with the evil Tom because I could process the regular vocal
Hello, Thomas. I see that you're
in
depressed.
a similar way and then try and blend in this evil shifted.
Hello, Thomas. I see that you're depressed. What's the problem?
Hello, Thomas. I see that you're depressed. What's the problem? Is it the skeletons you're hiding deep inside?
But the main problem I was having was the articulation of his lyrics. I really wanted to be able to hear what he was saying. And that super deep, low vocal was kind of clouding things up a lot. So I ended up leaving that and recreating it my own way. So I'll show you what I did. So I've got the regular vocal here, and I'm using this little altar boy. This was kind of the hero of this mix. So I'm not changing the pitch at all, but I am dropping the formant a little bit just to make this voice sound slightly different than the real Tom. That sounds like this.
Have you been worried your haters will put you in the coffin?
Have you been worried your haters will put you in the coffin?
That's without.
Have you been worried your haters will put you in the coffin?
So just a little deeper, a little more unnatural sounding. And I'm blending that with my own version of the octave down. So this is octave down with a little bit of formant, with a little bit of drive as well. That sounds like this.
Have you been worried your haters will put you in the coffin? Are you distraught that you promised vodka was not?
So it's still the low octave, but it's not quite as deep as the one Tom originally had here.
Have you been worried your haters will put you in the coffin?
And it helps with the understanding of the diction and the lyrics a little more. So those two combine in this Evil Tom bus, which comes here, which has a lot of the same processing as the main vocal, de-essing, compression, this guy doing that stuff. Soothe, yeah, it's actually identical. So with that on, those two, the main tom with the formant shift and the low tom sound like this.
Have you been worried your haters will put you in the coffin? Are you distraught that you promised vodka was not an option? Now you're having thoughts of doing shots, Tom. You're an alcoholic. Is that?
So that started working a lot better. The other thing I wanted was a whisper track. Now this is pitched down, and then going through this vocoder. Now, this is a vocoder by Waves. There's lots of plugins out there that do vocoders. And I'm not actually using the notes. I'm just using this noise feature, which gives this really creepy whisper vibe. And that sounds like this.
Have you been worried your haters will put you in the coffin? Are you distraught that you promised vodka was not an option? Now you're having thoughts of doing shots, Tom. You're an alcoholic. Is that?
So that's creepy. You blend that with our Evil Tom and the Evil Tom Low, and we get this.
Have you been worried your haters will put you in the coffin? Are you distraught that you promised vodka was not an option? Now you're having thoughts of doing shots, Tom. You're an alcoholic.
So that really started working in terms of the mix. And so all three of those do have this little altar boy on there. So he was really the guy that saved the day. And the other major element that made this mix work was automation. So with a lot of my mixes, I go a little crazy with automation. I want things to be moving all the time. My effects here, my reverbs and my delays are going to be automated and moving all the time. Different words are getting more reverb and more delay. So I talk a little bit about that with my delay throw video, if you want to go check that out. But even on the regular voice here, I'm throwing words into my delay or into my reverb at different moments here. So I'll just show you that.
Yeah, it does. I'm anxious. Nothing calms me down like Xanax does, but I can't even relapse because the internet will laugh at us. I just need a beer or two, but it's been like a year or two. I thought you disappeared. I can't believe that I'm still here with you. My therapist said me and you can't speak again. I locked the devil out, but it was you who let the demons in.
So, just trying to add to the performance to make this mix more itself. So as Tom gets more animated, the effects start to come up, and you can hear the room starting to get set off more by his increased volume and his increased intensity. For Evil Tom, I actually automated quite a bit. So the whisper comes in and out at different moments. As it gets more intense, the whispers come up and get more creepy. And the other thing I automated a lot was actually that formant shift for my main Evil Tom here. That jumps around, and that gives it a very unnatural kind of feeling to it.
Hello, Thomas. I see that you're depressed. What's the problem? Is it the skeletons you're hiding deep inside your closet?
Have you been reading all the names they call you in the comments?
Have you been worried your haters will put you in the coffin? Are you distraught that you promised vodka was not an option? Now you're having thoughts of doing shots? Tom, you're an alcoholic.
Is that true? You're upset.
So depending on his lyrics, sometimes it'll get brighter and thinner, sometimes it'll get darker and creepier. And that, combined with the automation of the whisper track.
Have you been reading all the names they call you in the comments? Have you been worried your haters will put you in the coffin? Are you distraught that you promised vodka was not an option? Now you're having thoughts of doing shots? Tom, you're an alcoholic.
Is that true? You're upset that you can't have booze?
What's the matter, Thomas? Something's got you in a bad mood.
So let's take a look at the hook. A lot of this comes down to Tom's vocal production. He recorded a lot of vocals for this. So let's just listen to the hook.
I'm the best rapper ever, I don't wanna be great. If they're the best, then I'm better, don't you make no mistake. Cause I'm the gold, feel it in my bones until I'm a ghost. I'm the one who pulls the sword out of the stone. Best ever. I'm the best rapper.
So for the A section of the hook, there are 6 yelling vocals.
I'm the best rapper ever, I don't wanna be great.
Now, if you want that big, high-energy crowd vocal, there's no better way of doing it than just recording a whole bunch of takes of you singing the part. No doublers, no crowd plugins are going to work better than just recording a whole bunch of well-sung, really tight vocals.
I'm the best rapper ever, I don't wanna be great. If they're...
He's also got some sung vocals.
I'm the best rapper ever, I don't wanna be great.
And a low version of that.
I'm the best rapper ever, I don't wanna be great. If that...
So those all together give you this.
I'm the best rapper ever, I don't wanna be great. If they're the best, then I'm better, don't you make no mistake.
And the B section is similar, a little more sparse.
Cause I'm the gold, feel it in my bones until I'm a ghost. I'm the one who pulls the sword out of the stone.
Now, one thing that I added to this that I thought helped the song along quite a bit was I was missing, because I had that wide whisper track, which had all that top end, that really sizzly frequency. When that went away, I missed it a lot. So I actually kept that in, and I pulled up versions of both of these hooks onto my whisper track. And then I actually added a little bit of MIDI to trigger the vocoder side of this vocoder. So that sounds like this.
I'm the best rapper ever, I don't wanna be great. If they're the best, then I'm better, don't you make no mistake.
So this is the exact same track from the verses from Evil Tom.
Liar. Come on, Thomas, keep it real.
And nothing changes except the MIDI starts to trigger the vocoder side, which is set to a warm pad here.
I'm the best rapper ever, I don't wanna be great. If they're the best, then I'm better, don't you make no mistake. Cause I'm the gold, feel it in my bones until I'm a ghost. I'm the one who pulls the sword out of the stone.
Now, when I was exploring this, I was playing with a different vocoder This is a newer, kind of more advanced vocoder by Isotope called VocalSynth. I love this plugin a lot, so I was playing with this and landed on something I liked and decided to keep both vocoders in. So actually during this course, there's two vocoders. There's the whisper one that is the same settings as what I have in the verse, and then this one, this vocoder or this VocalSynth, just comes in for the hooks. And that one sounds like this.
I'm the best rapper ever, I don't wanna be great. If they're the best, then I'm better, don't you make no mistake. Cause I'm the gold, feel it in my bones. Until I'm a ghost, I'm the one who pulls the sword out of the stone.
And I'm using a lot of the elements out of this. Russell, Altered Bots, BioVox with a bunch of the breath. This is a very complex plugin, but you can get some really, really cool sounds if you're into vocoder, if you're into this kind of thing. I thought it suited this song really well. So let's listen to that hook with both of these vocoders in there.
I'm the best rapper ever, I don't wanna be great. If they're the best, then I'm better, don't you make no mistake. Cause I'm the gold, feel it in my bones. Until I'm a ghost, I'm the one who pulls the sword out of the stone. Best ever.
So that's just giving you that really high-end energy up top, that stereo sizzle that I was missing from what I had in the verse. But it also gives me just a touch more melody, which helps the hook because the hook is quite yelly and shouty and gangy. So it gives it a little bit more melody just to make it a little bit more listenable. Sounds like this with the track.
I'm the best rapper ever, I don't wanna be great. If they're the best, then I'm better, don't you make no mistake. Cause I'm the gold, feel it in my bones. Until I'm a ghost, I'm the one who pulls the sword out of the stone. Best ever. I'm the best rapper ever, I don't care what you say. I'm Da Vinci, I'm forever, I'm designed for.
So I hope you guys find a little bit of inspiration from this example. I love the idea that mixing is both extremely technical, but also very creative. On the technical side, the balancing, the tonal shaping, the processing, making sure everything sounds clear and everything sounds great. On the creative side, it's shaping the mix in a way that best articulates the artist's original intent and also helps the song sound more like itself. If you guys would like to connect with me, I'll leave a link to my website and Instagram down in the description below. Like and subscribe if you'd like to see more videos like this in the future, and leave any questions you might have down in the comments for me. I love chatting with you guys. With that, happy mixing, and I'll see you in the next one.
I'm the best rapper ever, I don't care what you say. I'm Da Vinci, I'm forever, I'm designed for the fame. Cause I'm the gold, get the kid throne, everybody.